It's 106 on Talk Radio 790 KABC. You're listening to The John Phillips Show. John is away this week. It's Randy Wang here. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. By the way, you could give me a follow on Instagram at Randy Wang Radio. That's Randy Wang Radio. And you can email us at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. I try to read and respond to as many emails as I can, including this one from Tom. Hey, Randy, can I get the OJ What's Going On America drop? You mean this one?
What's going on, America?
It rates right up there with the ladies from Reseda and the Long Beach gas station owner.
If the cashier is dummy.
Although I think he's Lakewood. Maybe you can put on the KBC website. Can't find on Twitter. So I'm going to let you in a little secret, everybody. If you ever just want me to email you a drop, just email us at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And I'll email you an MP3 of any drop that we feature on the show. Why not?
Doctor.
Now, real quick before we move on, he held on across the break. Let's talk to Sean in L.A. Sean, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Randy, good afternoon. How you doing, sir?
Doing great.
Hey, I just wanted to say that the special interest, starting with the director or the head of the Housing Association in L.A. County, they're not managing money. They're stealing the money. And also, President Reagan wasn't the one that really closed down all the mental health facilities. It was the state of California after they saw one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Everyone freaked out.
Yeah, that movie did a lot of damage.
Yeah. So Reagan gets blamed for that, but he wasn't the one that did it.
Well, and if you want to go really far back, you could blame Kennedy for some of this, too.
Well, wow. Yeah, that's another 20 years back. But anyway, I just wanted to say that they're not managing the money, Randy. There is being puffered. It's being stolen.
Well, we're spending billions of dollars. You have certain homeless service providers that got so rich they could run for office, like Nithya Raman and Katie Hill. She was able to support 3 mouths in that family.
Wow. God.
Thanks so much for the call, Sean. I appreciate it. And yes, it doesn't help that now the woman in charge of the L.A. County Homeless Services Authority is Valencia Adams-Kellum.
Doctor.
Excuse me, Dr. Valencia Adams-Kellum, who used to be in charge of one of these homeless service providers. By the way, did you know that Karen Bass was in Van Halen for a little while? You didn't?
You better call me a doctor. Doctor.
Now, yesterday was a fascinating day, not just in the state of California, but all around the country, because yesterday was billed as a way to beat the heat and a way to celebrate the magic of movies. It was National Movie Day, Movie Theater Day. And all of these movie theater chains across the country, including AMC here in California, had quite the deal. For a little details, here is CBS 8 in San Diego. This was early Sunday morning. Let's find out what all the hullabaloo was about.
All right, so if you still haven't seen one of this summer's big blockbuster movies, there's definitely still some time.
And tonight, it will cost you a lot less. But you do have to hurry because this is only a one-day deal. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen is at the AMC 10 in Chula Vista to explain what's going on.
Now, this is a light story. Get ready for some puns and some sound effects, kids.
Have you heard? It's only $4 movies today. You know what that means. Don't walk, run.
I'd make fun of that, but I do the same stupid bit all the time. It's one of the ones I grabbed from the KLSX days.
Run.
Okay, that was too much. So you got to get in and get out with your sound effects in a news report. You don't need 3 different running sound effects, but okay.
Welcome to AMC.
Today is the 2nd annual National Cinema Day.
This is the best day ever.
It is the best day ever.
Amazing. To celebrate, all showtimes, all tickets, all formats are only $4.
Super happy.
Oh my God, $4? Like $4 is crazy. I mean, movies are just never affordable.
$4, you can't beat that.
Around 3,000 theaters across the country are participating, including AMC, Regal, and Cinemark.
$4 movie day. How exciting. It was 105 degrees in the San Fernando Valley yesterday. It was hot. It was a perfect time to go to the mall and go to the movies. What could possibly go wrong on National Movie Theater Day? Oh, a bunch of rowdy-ass teens decided to exploit it and beat each other up on TikTok, including at the Del Amo Mall in beautiful Torrance.
Well, witnesses say it was pure chaos.
Which was used in the movie Jackie Brown, because Quentin Tarantino loves putting the South Bay in his movies.
Well, witnesses say it was pure chaos. You had hundreds, if not 1,000 teenagers running through and out of this mall during all of this, multiple fights breaking out among different groups of these teenagers. No one really knew what was going on. And I feel like I'm getting old because I don't understand how this is organized. I know TikTok has something to do with it, but somehow, because of National $4 Movie Day, a bunch of rowdy-ass kids all over the country, including nearly 1,000 in Torrance, swarmed the Del Amo Mall, not to see the movies, but to beat each other up on video and cause chaos. And, of course, maybe do a little stealing. Different groups of these teenagers, no one really knew what was going on. And officials have now confirmed that one gunshot was fired during all of this. Thankfully, no one was hurt with that gunshot. No serious injuries were reported. But it was really scary for a lot of the people who were here. Witnesses just saying it was terrifying. They're still not sure exactly what started it. Take a look at some of this video, though. Chaos at a mall in Torrance as multiple fights broke out between dozens of teens.
And if you want to play along at home, if you happen to have TikTok, stop with your ASMR videos. Don't need to see any brick stacking today. Just search Del Amo, and you're going to see video after video after video of teenagers beating the crap out of each other for entertainment's sake. I mean, are we living in Fight Club now? What is this?
Chaos at a mall in Torrance as multiple fights broke out between dozens of teens.
The kids were like literally surrounding like BJ's, PF Chang's, AMC. Supposedly they...
Boy, that's an Anytown USA mall if I've ever heard one. They've got a BJ's and a PF Chang's and a movie theater, just like every other mall.
The kids were like literally surrounding like BJ's, PF Chang's, AMC. Supposedly they jumped some of the workers. Some of the kids were jumped, but it was at random.
Cass Fisher works at BJ's restaurant.
So you get a notice from your friends on TikTok. We're all going down to the Del Amo Mall because it's $4 movie day. But we're not going to go see Barbie. We're not going to go see Oppenheimer. We're not even going to do the Barbenheimer double feature for $8. We're going down there to crack some skulls so we can get some clicks. How did this happen?
Some of the kids were jumped, but it was at random.
Cass Fisher works at BJ's restaurant at the Del Amo Fashion Center and couldn't believe what she was witnessing.
One of the kids broke his jaw. Another kid's face was leaking. I don't know how bad they beat him. They said it was about like 20 kids that jumped on one.
It's just crazy seeing the crowd run from AMC. It was insane.
We just saw.
By the way, we got a lot of listeners in the Torrance area. If you witnessed any of this madness yesterday because you went to the mall to beat the heat, please give me a call, 800-222-KABC. I got to know what this was like because I am just fascinated with the concept, especially how the rowdy-ass kids are ruining what should have been a fantastic promotion.
From AMC, it was insane.
We just saw like 400, 500 kids just running past BJ's. Like there were so many. And then like during it, some of them were coming in, asking for water. Some of them were like sitting at tables.
That's right. They're going to get their Pazookies and not pay for them. And if they are going to pay for them, they're going to pull out a little tiny plastic bag full of change. Never wait on teenagers. That's my life advice. Teenagers don't tip. That's what I learned when I worked at TGI Fridays.
Pretending that they're like customers.
She told them to move. They took a cup of water, threw it in her face, and then were threatening to fight all of us inside of BJ's. And it truly had us scared for our safety to the point where we had to lock the doors and we were not letting anybody in or out.
We're closing at 3 o'clock today because there's a bunch of wild teens out there causing chaos.
Skyfox was overhead, the large multi-agency response, officers surrounding the mall. Torrance police.
Yeah, this the first I heard of this. I got alerts on my phone. Because I'm friends with Marla Tejas, I have Fox 11 on my phone, and then it gives me little updates and says massive multi-agency police response at the Del Amo Mall. That resulted in nobody getting arrested.
Torrance police say they responded to the mall around 4 p.m. after reports of gunfire and multiple fights amongst minors. Employees say the mall was especially packed for National Movie Day as tickets.
You know, as a kid, you always want to do some stupid stuff. You want to get into a little trouble. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not that old. My 20-year high school reunion is this year, which I'm not going to because I'd rather be in Santa Fe. But I couldn't imagine 20 years ago this being a thing that all the kids do.
Minors. Employees say the mall was especially packed for National Movie Day as tickets were $4 each.
There were so many.
This group of teens was about to watch Gran Turismo when they say they heard a gunshot.
I got in our movie theater. I was like, guys, go out the exit. And everyone started running.
I was getting...
Oh, boy. Yeah, this is actually going to do great for the failing movie business.
I got in our movie theater. I was like, guys, go out the exit. And everyone started running.
I was getting my Slurpee.
You know, anytime you see a big discount like that, you got to think about the riffraff. Sure, the movie's $4, but I'd rather pay $20 to be in a nearly empty movie theater than to be in a loud-ass movie theater in the middle of the day with a bunch of crazy kids.
I was getting my Slurpee drink, and I saw people just running, and I ran to take a video.
It was like a movie.
Crazy.
It was like something straight out of a movie.
We were in a group hug, like making sure we were all.
We were like.
I thought it was
we good?
I had an anxiety attack, I think, but it was crazy. It was just too much going on. It was people over here, people over there.
And
are you ever able to find one of the kids that knows how this started, knows someone that's in the crowd of people beating the crap out of each other? How does this just happen at random?
And you listen to those people talking, you hear it in their voices, that urgency, that tension. It's a really frightening experience for everyone who experienced it. Again, Torrance police have now confirmed that one gunshot was fired, but nobody was hit, and they still don't know who fired that gunshot. No arrests were made, no serious injuries reported, and they say there's no property damage, but this is still under investigation and something we will continue to follow.
And it wasn't an isolated incident. Also, National Movie Day meant there were these kinds of teenager TikTok brawls all over in Boston and even in the Bay Area. Here's what happened in Emeryville. Let's go to KGO.
Chaos at the Bay Street Mall spreading into Emeryville. Multiple fights broke out late this evening, involving hundreds of people.
Remember when this was a thing last year at Knott's Berry Farm, where a bunch of rowdy-ass kids would go down to Knott's Berry Farm and beat the crap out of each other because I guess that's how you go viral. And so Knott's Berry Farm had to institute a chaperone policy. No rowdy-ass teens at a theme park that's built for rowdy-ass teens.
So many that police from neighboring cities were called in to help.
You know, back in my day, I saw a fist fight or two when I worked at Magic Mountain, but those weren't for TikTok. Those were people fighting over the funnel cake line. And those happen daily.
So many that police from neighboring cities were called in to help. Good evening, I'm J.R. Stone. The first incident began at 4:30, and 4 hours later, the area was finally cleared. It began at the Bay Street Mall in Emeryville. One person was stabbed and taken to the hospital. And at one point, at least one shot was fired, but no one was hit. ABC 7 News reporter Lena Howland has a look at what happened.
This was the scene just outside of the Bay Street Mall after police say around 300 juveniles broke into groups and got involved into multiple fights like this one near the AMC Theater around 5 o'clock in the evening. Catherine Borrad from Fresno says she ran right into the group as they were trying to leave the area.
There were just these throngs of kids. I want to say 300, 400 kids. And things are...
Emeryville's not a big place.
And things were fine. It was just a little strange. And then all of a sudden, they all started running towards us.
And there's still a screaming kid in the background.
We thought maybe there was gunfire or knife or something happened.
And in what felt like a stampede of teenagers running her way, she says both her and her son got knocked over.
Somebody pushed past me and I hit the ground. He has a couple of skin knees.
Emeryville police say among the fights, one single gunshot was fired but didn't hit anyone.
What, they shot it into the air?
About an hour later, they say one juvenile was stabbed near Elm Street.
Okay, that kid took it too far.
Taken to the Highland Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A spokesman for the police department tells us out of the hundreds of teens involved, just one juvenile was arrested.
Hey, they got Del Amo beat. Only 400 kids ruined the mall there, and they got one arrest. We had 1,000 kids descend upon Del Amo, beating the crap out of each other. Multi-agency response, no arrests. Maybe it's not illegal anymore to beat the crap out of each other in a public place. I don't know.
My thing is that what was 400 kids doing? They said it was over 400 kids. And I'm like, what were they doing here unsupervised without their parents? And it's scary because that's what she sometimes wants to go to the movies. And I'm like, I don't think you're not at that age to go by yourself.
Don't send them on National Movie Day, I'll tell you that.
Brenda Valaderas says the Bay Street Mall incident spilled over into a nearby Target when she witnessed teenagers pulling items off of shelves, making a mess of the store.
You don't say. The people kicking the crap out of each other. Was this just a giant sleight of hand to ransack the stores? Because it worked.
When she witnessed teenagers pulling items off of shelves, making a mess of the store, and shoplifting in front of her family.
People were getting mad, and it was like getting like everybody was like stealing everything. Like everything was on the floor.
Although police would not confirm the connection to the Target incident, they did say there was a link up posted to social media, which originally called the mass amount of teens to the Bay Street Mall.
Just a very scary evening in Emeryville.
Do we have, I know, police departments are stretched incredibly thin right now. There's a staffing shortage everywhere. They're all bidding against each other. But we got to have somebody, you know, back in 1987, we had this figured out. There was a big drug problem in the schools, and so we employed Johnny Depp to go undercover as a kid. That's right. We need a new 21 Jump Street, but for the TikTok age, and we need somebody on the right side of the law to break into these groups of thuggish teens and take them out.
Posted to social media.
And no, I don't remember the name of the other guy on 21 Jump Street, and you don't either.
Posted to social media, which originally called the mass amount of teens to the Bay Street Mall.
Just a very scary evening in Emeryville.
This on National Cinema Day, where tickets at AMC theaters were being sold for just $4. Shortly after the incident,
I don't think AMC's doing this next year.
Shortly after the incident, AMC put a message on their website confirming this location has been temporarily closed. In Emeryville, Lena Howland, ABC 7 News.
So you take a lovely idea, a fantastic summer celebration, a way to beat the heat. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. You can always email us at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And I've had several people reach out and let me know that before Karen Bass was mayor, before Karen Bass was a congresswoman, before Karen Bass even started COCO, the Community Coalition, she had a stint with Robert Palmer.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case loving you.
Keep them coming, kids. I try to cut as many as I can during the break. And if you want a drop of any of them, or you want a song that you want me to email you, I'll email you. johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Now, for all you people listening, I got something sweet for you. I got some Vegas for you. How about this? KABC welcomes Awakening at the Wynn Las Vegas. The thrilling spectacle at Wynn Las Vegas dazzles audiences with soaring aerialists, bounding acrobats, high-energy choreography, and comedic moments. A mythic adventure unfolds set amid the most technologically immersive theater ever designed. Tickets are on sale now at awakening.com. But right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222. That's 1-888-790-5222. Wins an Awakening getaway including a 2-night stay at Wynn Las Vegas and 2 tickets to see Awakening. This all provided by Wynn Las Vegas. Good luck dialing. That's right. This is the only radio station on the 790 dial that gives you Vegas tickets, and we do it a lot. So thank you so much for your continued listenership, your phone calls, your emails, and continuing to make it so that Johnny and I can get paid for doing this. You can always email us at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. I'm getting overwhelmed with you musical researchers out there, including Timmy, who found out that Karen Bass used to be in Kiss. Which character was she?
They call me Doctor. They call me Doctor. Oh, Doctor. I've got the cure you're thinking of. Doctor.
You know, the only celebrity I ever got excited to meet when I first got into radio was Gene Simmons, because I was a huge Kiss fan. And he came in to do the Adam Carolla show, which I worked on. And is the only person I ever asked to take a picture with. I've never done that. And he puts his arm around me, and he starts playing with my earlobe. And I have a picture of that, and it's really strange. But it's Gene Simmons. The man can do whatever he wants. Now, we have been talking a lot on this show about the failings of our local district attorney, George Gascon.
We got some wobbly knees allies.
But we also have been looking at the failings of Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price.
Quite frankly.
Because she is George Gascon on steroids, and since she got into office, combined with the disastrous mayor who fired the police chief on day one, robberies are up, I believe, 27% in Oakland, and burglaries are up 40%. Because she didn't want to do anything about it. She is now facing a recall and is holding community meetings to talk to the community, town halls to explain that it's not that she's soft on crime, you just don't get your facts good. So let's listen to what was said and how the reaction went. Here is KPIX.
11 with Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price. She showed up at a town hall meeting to defend her record, even as she faces a recall effort. The main topic at the meeting, crime, as her opponents continue to demand stronger action from her office. It's the second town hall that Price has organized since the recall effort started to gain more traction. Residents confronted both Price and the police department about the rise in crime. Donlin was at today's...
The police department, which, by the way, we learned this from Karen Bass's interview with Alex Michelson. In Alameda County, whether it's the Alameda County Sheriffs or Oakland PD, they're so desperate for cops, they're offering a $70,000 starting bonus. Oh, my.
Donlin was at today's...
L.A. is only offering a $15,000.
Donlin was at today's meeting and has this report.
I work at night. And the crime has escalated to the point where no one feels safe.
Many longtime residents admit Oakland has always had a crime problem, but say never this bad.
So, yeah, we used to do Oakland stories maybe once a week, and now it's like every other day. And in fact, I just saw a headline from the San Francisco Chronicle, and it's one of those that I just know in the next 24 hours, my friends up at KGO, KPIX, KTVU, Cron 4, NBC Bay Area, one of them is going to do a video on this, and we're going to talk about it. Did you know that Oakland now has a pirate problem? New type of crime wave sweeps Oakland's waterfront. Pirates. They're going to the harbor, and they're stealing the crap off of your boat. Although I think piracy is handled under maritime law, and so it might not apply to Pamela Price. And anytime I can use the phrase maritime law is a good day.
Some came to offer solutions.
You need to expand the hours of your victims' advocacy service and the services that you provide for mental health.
That's the big complaint? Can you have your phone on longer?
About 75 people attended the Pamela Price Town Hall meeting at the Cornerstone Missionary Baptist Church in the Laurel District. Julian Hurd lives in the area and owns a bar near Lake Merritt. He says it's hard to do business when customers are scared to come spend money.
Compassion, that don't work with criminals.
He says,
I like this guy.
Compassion, that don't work with criminals.
This guy has seen it.
He says Price has so far failed to hold criminals accountable.
Her talents will be better in the public defender. I mean, why do you run for a job to prosecute people and you don't want to do that job?
That guy sounds like he knows how to make a damn good old-fashioned.
I mean, that's kind of oxymoron.
But Price...
Wait, let me play this little exchange uninterrupted because we might have a new contender for the wall. And the wall is getting so big, I might have to expand it next year.
Her talents will be better in the public defender. I mean, why do you run for a job to prosecute people and you don't want to do that job? I mean, that's kind of oxymoron.
But
that's kind of oxymoron.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know when I would use it, but let me just save it right now. So we go into the drops folder here, which now has 354 drops from the show. And we go Oakland oxymoron. Oxymoron. I don't know if I'll ever use it. I don't know if it'll actually make the wall, but the least I should do is save it so I remember to do something with it later.
That's kind of oxymoron. That's kind of oxymoron.
I feel like we'll find a use for it.
But Price supporters like Diane Campbell say it's wrong to blame the DA's progressive policies for the rising crime.
Then how come the crime is getting out of control as soon as she took office?
They do the crime, they should do the time. And
oh, good. We're going to the most cliched rhyme I've ever heard.
They do the crime, they should do the time.
Was Rob Bonta at this meeting?
Every type of leadership is about meeting the moment and rising to the occasion. And this is what's required. And so we're stepping up and getting it done.
He did used to represent Oakland.
And I think that she's just trying to look at the whole entire picture. The answer isn't necessarily giving them another 50, 60, 70 years on top of what they've already done.
Price promised voters she would not try minors as adults and remove charging enhancements, which lengthen jail time.
Now, I will say, and this is why we've got no one to blame but ourselves, it's not like Pamela Price lied about what she was going to do.
Quite frankly.
And it's not like George Gascon lied about what he was going to do.
Quite frankly.
They told us this is what their policy was. And they both won their elections fairly. Now, is there buyer's remorse? Absolutely. I will say that the average voter who maybe doesn't pay that much attention to what's going on in the news probably was shocked to find out how much instrumental change immediately a district attorney can make by just deciding to not enforce a law. You elect a member of the Assembly, the state Senate, Congress. In order to change things, they have to write legislation. It has to go through the debate process and the committee process, and then it has to go through both houses, and it even has to show up on Gavin Newsom's door. But as a district attorney, you don't even need to change the law. You're just going to say, I have prosecutorial discretion, and I'm not going to enforce the laws on the books, like George Gascon does with enhancements, hate crime laws, although he turned back on that one because he realized that was indefensible, and things like 3 strikes and the death penalty. We're just not going to enforce the law. So maybe in the next election in 2024, we will see if the residents of Los Angeles learned their lesson. I sure hope so.
Price promised voters she would...
Alameda County, she just started. Unless you get that recall going, you got a long 4 years ahead of you. But hey, it's possible. We got Boudin out, and things aren't perfect in San Francisco, but they're definitely better with a DA who actually wants to do her job in Brooke Jenkins. And in fact, a lot of the deputy district attorneys that Pamela Price fired for being too good at their job, Jenkins hired. So now they're working in San Francisco.
Price promised voters she would not try minors as adults and remove charging enhancements, which lengthen jail time.
They're upset, but, I think that they have to give her a chance. It's not an easy fix.
Oakland police report while homicide is down slightly this year compared to last, robbery is up by 28%. Burglary also skyrocketed by 44%.
Over year, burglary up 44%, robbery up 27%. I think the change in management might have something to do with it. So that's Pam Price, that's Shang Tao, and that's the Oakland Police Commission, which has left the city without a police chief for almost a year.
While Price did not address the recall effort, she wore a red button that says, "Stop the Republican recall."
Republican recall? Maybe she stole that from Gavin Newsom's recall because, as far as I know, and in fact, I wonder if we can look that up. What is the voter registration breakdown in Oakland? Let's see if we can get this going. Voter registration, Oakland breakdown. How many Republicans could there possibly be? Spoiler alert, not that many. I'll look during the break. It's hard to research things and host the show and play sound at the same time.
Where are these Republicans coming from to recall her? It's the people who live here that ain't happy with her policies. I mean, she can frame it any way she wants, but they would have to fly some Republicans in.
Her campaign listed this.
I love this guy. And in fact, you could argue calling it a Republican recall in a Democrat-heavy Alameda County.
That's kind of oxymoron.
I looked up the Alameda County Registrar of Voters, and Alameda County has 931,000 registered voters. 60% of them are registered Democrats. 23.8% of them are registered no party preference. I'm a registered no party preference. 11% are Republican. So, Pamela Price, I don't know if I could label this as a Republican recall in Alameda County.
Quite frankly.
If you'd like to email us, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Whether you got something to say or you want me to email you a drop or a song, johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. The hits just keep on coming. I'm working on one right now, but let me get this one out of the way because one of our intrepid listeners found out that after a stint with Van Halen and Kiss, Karen Bass hit the trifecta, and she was even with Motley Crue for a time.
Doctor.
So it's Randy Wang here. The phone number is 800-222-KABC. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Randy Wang Radio. That's Randy Wang Radio. And, of course, you can email us at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Now, we've been getting a lot of requests today, and we've learned a lot of information about the past of Karen Bass. We all got turned on to Karen Bass today because over the weekend she was doing a big old ribbon-cutting ceremony with Councilman Marquise Harris Dawson and the CEO of LASA, Valicia Adams-Kellum.
Dr.
Valicia Adams-Kellum, who makes $450,000 to watch the homeless numbers go up. Well, we've had a lot of people emailing about a lot of musical connections to Karen Bass that we didn't know about. And this one might be the winner, folks. I believe Greg emailed us this one. Did you know that at one point, Karen Bass had a stint with Harry Nilsson and had her own version of the Lime and the Coconut song?
She put the lime in the coconut, she called it Doctor. Woke him up and said, Doctor. Ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor. To relieve his bellyache, I said, Doctor. Ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor. To relieve his bellyache.
That is the one I didn't think of, and that is my favorite one so far. But you people have been fantastic. Keep your suggestions coming. This is what I do during the commercial breaks. I could look for new stories, or I could make stupid songs about Karen Bass. And you know which one I'm going to choose every single time. We got one more hour to go here on the John Phillips Show. Coming up next, I think we go back to our dear mayor, who had quite the statement about retail theft in Southern California. We'll hear that next on the John Phillips Show. It's Randy Wang here on KABC.
doctor, doctor. Can't you see I'm burning, burning? Oh, doctor, doctor. It's love I'm feeling.